Okay, Bismillah. Okay, folks, we are now looking at how to plot quadratic equations, how to find the turning point on a quadratic equation, and how to use the graph to state the solutions to the quadratic equation. So here's our first one. Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. We're going to use the values from 0 to 6. So the way we're going to do that is, let's have a go. Okay, so we have x, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what it says here, 0 to 6. I've done that first. So everybody write that down, please. So if you're using squared paper in your book or something, that's good. You also have some square paper that I've sent to you as well by printout. Use that. So now let's do our graph. Our graph has got 1, 2, 3 elements. So it has an x squared element, a minus 6x, and a plus 9. Now normally they won't necessarily give you these in the exam. You could do it yourself. That's not a problem. And then on the bottom you'll have y. So we're going to work everything out in-house in this lovely little dabba. We have this kind of table. Okay. So the first thing we need to do to the x value, we need to square it. So if I square the 0, if I do 0 squared, I get 0. If I do 1 squared, okay, let's have Eliza, please. Looks like you're okay. Everybody should have the microphones muted. Abdullah, mute your microphone for me, and Salia. Eliza, leave yours on. I want you to join me now on this question. Let's go. So Eliza, what's 1 squared?
1.
Lovely. And 2 squared?
4.
And 3 squared?
9.
And 4 squared?
16.
5 squared?
25.
And 6 squared?
36.
Okay, right. Now, the next one says minus 6 times by x, Eliza. So minus 6 times by x means minus 6 times by the x value. The x value is all here. Here we're going to be using these values again and again and again and again. So what's minus 6 times by 0?
It would be minus 0.
Okay, now here we go. I'll write down for you here. Anything times by 0 will give you, remember you done this last time in your negative numbers? Anything times by 0 will give you what? Will give you?
0.
A 0. You want, yeah? Good. And what's minus 6 times by 1?
Minus 6.
Good. And what's minus 6 times by 2?
Minus 12.
Okay, what's minus 6 times by 3 now?
Minus 18.
Okay. And what's minus 6 times by 4?
Minus 24.
And then minus 30 and minus?
36.
Minus 36. Okay. Next, we have plus 9. Now, what do you mean by plus 9, Eliza? It's got just plus 9 standing there by itself. So what do they want you to do with the plus 9 then?
Do they want you to add it to the x values?
Okay. So, for example, what do I put here, here, here? Go and tell me what goes there then.
Add 9.
Just do I write add 9 everywhere? Is this what you want me to do?
No.
That's what the question wants us to do. So add 9 is correct.
Okay.
Add 9 here, Eliza, is a constant. You're just adding a number. You're not actually manipulating the x. You're not multiplying the by 9. It's just saying add 9, add 9, add 9 each time. Okay.
Okay.
So the add 9 here will you will literally just write it out for the whole table, whereas the other one something's happening. With add 9, nothing's happening, just copying it down. So now here comes the part that again. So you've done negative number substitution. Now you have negative numbers in your calculation now. So let's do this. What's 0? Add 0. Add 9 now. Now we're going to come now. We're going to come down the page now to work out what the y value fits in here. Because y is equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. So what's the first answer going to be?
Plus 9.
The first answer is going to be?
9.
9. Done. And what's the next one going to be? So the next one we're going to do 1 minus 6 plus 9. Remember your negative numbers. So that'll give us 1.
would give us minus.
He won't give us anything minus. Think carefully. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. You got 10 take away 6. What's 10 take away 6?
10 take away 6 is 4.
10 take away 6 is 4. Okay, next. What's you have 9 add 4 is 13. 13 take away 12 is
1.
That's how we do it. 9 add 9 is 18. 18 take away 18 is
0.
And then we have 9 add 16. That'll give you 25. Minus 24 is
1.
And 25 add 9, it will give you 34 minus 30 is
4.
And then you have 36 add 9 will give you
36 and 9 will give you 45.
45 minus 36 is
3. No, 9.
9. Okay, so what we're going to plot now? So we're going to plot our x values against the y values. Okay, I'm going to rub off some of the extra orange highlights so it doesn't confuse anybody. So we don't need this now anymore. I'll explain what that was used for. So I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, now can you see clearly now, Abdullah as well? Can everybody see? Put your hand up. Can you see what I'm looking at now? I am looking to plot the x values against the y values, the green values against the yellow values. That's what we're going to actually physically plot. Okay, so let's have a look. Now we're going to get those and we're going to put them onto a graph, and the graph's going to go from 0 to 6 and 0 to 10. So we could actually draw the graph. Should we draw the graph here? We've got enough squares on there. Okay, I think we could draw it on the next. Yeah, we've got our own graph paper. Okay.
Use the big squares.
Yeah, you use the big squares on the side. I'm just going to move this. We do have the way. This getting Okay, right. Let's have a look. So we need a scale from 0 to 6 along the x and at least 10. I don't really want to draw it across there, but I think I will have to. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I need to go up by. Remember, your y values go up to really 9. So, Sally, pass me ruler, please, quickly. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere. Pass me ruler. I need ruler. I can use ruler on my iPad. Yeah, that'll do. Okie dokie. So let's have a look from here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I don't have enough space there. I'm gonna have to do it down here. Okay, let's open that page. Okay, we'll go cross by. How many 6? Okay. Let's take it up from there. We don't actually need it there. All right, let's put it here. Okay, folks, start drawing your graph now. So we need to go from 0 to 6 and then up to 10. I think we can cut that, bring that down. Okay, folks, 1, whoops. Okay, and cross here. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Okay, one more square would have been very nice. Okay, we could actually miss out the last point. We'll just do here for the moment. So we're going to have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have to physically miss out the last point just so we can get a nice, like, widely spread graph. Otherwise, it'll be too tight. Okay. Okay, hopefully everything else is in the right place. And so we now need to start plotting the points. I can use an actual piece of software for drawing it. Okay, I actually do have a piece of software for drawing it, but that will lose the point of the exercise. Okay, Eliza, can you tell me what the points are now? So the points up there, can you tell me what they are?
The points would be 0.
Okay, you're reading from 0, 9, yeah?
0.
Remember, you plotted the green point with the orange point. It's X, Y, don't forget. They're paired together. Yeah?
So you put 0 with 9.
Hang on a second, let me grab it. Let me see if I can grab this. Okay, no, I can't grab it. I want to bring it down a bit more, but never mind. Okay, 0, 9, go on then.
And then 1 and 4.
Then 1 and 4. And then?
2 and 1.
And then 2 and 1, then?
3 and 0.
3 and 0, yes.
And then 4 and 1.
4 and 1, yes.
And then 5 and 4.
Okay, then we'll have to just stop there because that's all we can fit on. So for now, that will do. Okay, now everybody got that. You should know. I need you to draw a nice soft line for me, please. Okay. Let's choose. And you can turn your paper around and you need to give me a nice. Okay. Nice curve. You can do in 2 halves. Look at that. Okay, for this first graph here now. So Eliza, what is the turning point? What's that?
The turning point would be 3.
So your turning point is actually where the graph physically pivots on. Okay, so we want here. So the turning point, what's the coordinates again?
The coordinates would be 0 and 9.
No, turning point is 3, 0. That's the first one done. Because the point which I pointed out to you in the black arrow, that's 3, 0. You got to give it as a coordinate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Right. Next point I want to ask you. So what is the solution to the equation? Now the solutions is where the graph cuts the y-axis, the x-axis, or the y equals 0 line. So if I use a highlighter, this line here is where the line where y equals 0. Okay. So wherever it cuts now, does the curve cut the purple line, or does it touch it?
It touches it.
Well, that's also counts as an answer. So what's the solution then?
3, 0.
Okay, and how many times does it cut the line?
Once.
Once. That's called a repeated root. Normally with the quadratic equation, you have 2 answers. Okay, you have 2 answers, not 1. Okay. So let's have a go. Now so we've done the graph plotting. We've worked out all the values. We've found a turning point. We've done the solutions as well. Let's do one more question, then I'm going to let you guys loosen it, okay? You've got the graph paper there, and you've got square paper there as well. I don't need to use that square paper because I got my iPad generates its own square paper, which is more accurate. Okay, so let me just put in some extra page in there. Okay, here comes the next question now. So now I'm going to do a question that's going to involve negative number substitution, negative answers as well. So it's going to have a bit of mixture of both. Okay, let's have this next one here. Okay, the next question.
I didn't finish the first one.
Okay. So there you go. The turning points is there. That's the turning point where the graph physically turns from going down to going up. And the solution is also there as well. Your solution is always where the graph cuts the where the orange curve cuts the pink line on the bottom. It only touches it once. So here comes the next question. Let me rub it out and move it down a bit. Okay. You happy with that now, Salia?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next question, next example. So y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. So here's my x values. I need to go from -4 to 3. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now that's the beginning of our, that's where the x's are. So the next thing we've got to work out is x squared. Tick. 2x. Tick. -3. -3 is a constant. It'll be there all the time, all the time, all the time. So you can copy all the way across. Okay, and then we have our y at the bottom. Okay, so if I get my ruler, I think I need to make my pen slightly less thicker than what it actually is. Let's make it that's getting thicker. Okay. It's nice, you can actually write on the, you can use ruler on the iPad. So when you're going to be doing your questions, even though they're giving you a table that is different than this, you're going to have to change your table, and this will help you understand the questions. So now let's, Eliza, thank you very much for the previous question, mashallah. You've worked on really hard on that question. Really good input. Just be careful that if you need to do more working out, use the space on the side. Use whatever space you need to do to work things out. Don't make a mess in the table. So so feel free to write things down that you were trying to work out. Okay, let's have another student. Let's have Salia, please. You don't need to open your microphone because I can hear you from there. Okay, it says x squared. Okay, Abdullah, can you hear me, Abdullah? And Eliza, just put your hands up next to your name. If you can hear me, Abdullah can hear me. Eliza, okay, Alhamdulillah, they can both hear me. Right, here comes the pièce of the resistance, Salia. Remember x squared, Salia. You're squaring negative numbers. We've done that in the practice. Whether the number is negative or positive, the answer is always going to be, it's going to be positive, madam. Don't you dare say that. We have to take you outside and beat you until blood comes out of your ears. No, I'm joking. No, we don't do that. Okay, so we have -4, and we're going to square it. What will give us?
16.
Okay, now let's just use a different color. So that gives you 16. The next one, come on, go. -3 squared.
9.
-2 squared.
4.
Then.
1.
Then.
0.
Then.
1.
Then.
4.
Then.
9.
Okay, everything is squared. Okay, next. It says +2x. So what does that mean by +2x? +2 times by x. X is on top. +2 times by -4 is? I'll write it down for you. +2 times by -4. What's that going to give us? It's definitely not going to give us +8.
I said -8.
Okay, if you said -8, that's very good. And you got +2 times by -3 now.
-6.
Okay, it's.
No, 6.
Oh, hang on a second. I've written it down. Actually, wrong. That's me. Okay, it's +2 times by -3 gives you -6, and the next one's going to be -4. The next one's going to be -2. -2. Okay. Oh, we have other students joining us now. Okay, I'm just going to quickly pause the video just in case. Okay, so Salia, that was a good trick answer there. -1 times by 2 is +2, but it's actually -2. Good, well spotted. Okay, next one is 2 times by 0 is?
0.
And
2.
yes, 0. Anything times by 0 is always 0. 2 times by 1 is?
1. 2.
2. 2 times, you trying to trick me now, I was trying to trick you earlier. 2 times by 2 is?
4.
4. And 2 times by 3 is? 6. Okay, lovely jubbly. Okay, right, let's have, okay, Salia, thank you for that. Your multiplying skills. So let's have Layla. Keep your audio switched on, please, for the second moment. Salia, switch yours off. Right, I need you to work out the totals now for me. When I say total, I mean total of these, because x squared plus 2x and -3 we gotta sum them all up now, these bits here, and plop the answer at the bottom here. Okay, so that's the purpose of putting a table. Everything is nice and neatly done. Each bit's nicely done, and then we just add them all up. So you got 16 minus 8 minus 3. So come on, smash it up. What do you get? What's 16 minus 8 minus 3?
Minus 23, 24, 25, minus 26.
Whoa. Okay, you sure? Now you have minus 8 and minus 3, that gives you minus 11. So you got 16 take away 11. So what is 16 take away 11?
Oh, 5.
Well, that's what I asked you the first time around. Why is this so?
I added 16 and minus 8 first, and then.
Okay, now next one now. What's the next column? 9 minus 6 minus 3.
Minus 3, minus 3. Is it just 0?
Absolutely. Okay. Let's double check on that one for you. Which question? Okay, next one, and then minus 2, 1.
Minus 4, minus 7. Is it 3?
So you got 4 minus 3, it'll be minus 3, yeah? And the next one?
Yeah, minus.
You got 1 minus 5.
1 minus 5. Is it minus 4?
Okay, so this is where your negative numbers skills is valued at the value of gold. That's why I keep on saying to you, negative numbers, you must have it mastered. None of this nonsense or is plus and minus, you can confuse. You cannot get confused when you're doing a higher paper on negative numbers. Yeah, negative numbers is the bread and butter. It's the basic, the baseline for being able to access higher GCSE. You must have negative numbers mastered 1,000,000%, everything right. Okay, next one.
Is it just minus 3?
Absolutely, next one.
Stay the same.
You got 3 minus 3.
3 minus, 0.
You got 8 minus 3.
8 minus 3.
Yeah, because 4 at 4 is 8. 8 minus 3 now.
Yeah, but is it like minus 5?
8 minus 3 will give you plus 5. Okay, next one. You got 9 at 6 is?
9.
9 at 6 is?
15.
15 minus 3 is?
15 minus 3 is 12.
12. Okay, lovely. Right.
I'll
So
write that down.
that is x squared plus 2x. Trying to find it. X squared plus 2x. Trying to find my answers here. And minus 3. Okay, let me just double, triple, quadruple check the answers. Are all looking fresh, taza, and beautiful. And they are looking yummy. Okay, right. So we now need to draw a graph with these points on them. So you're going to go from minus 4 to 3. So if you would like to plan your graph, okay, our graph is going to go that way by 7 altogether. So minus 4 on this side and plus 3 on this side, and then it's going to go up, up to 12 on that side and down to minus 4 on that side. So we need at least 16 squares. Okay, so we're going to most likely have to double up because I don't think we've got enough space on our graph papers. So let's quickly pop in another page. Okay, I don't know whether the next page I can change because I think the graph paper is a little bit too big. Yeah, okay, that looks better. Okay. Okay, so we need, okay, let's up by 16 and across by 7. Do we have 16 on? I think we got easily 16 on there. And we need 4 on that side and 3 on that side. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks like easily that. It's gonna go up by minus 4 from the bottom. Let's just do like that. And let's put that one across here. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. All right, I think I've lost, I can't zoom in now. Give me a second. I don't know why it's not zooming. Okay, give me a second. I've got the iPad on my side, it's frozen up a bit. It's not responding. Okay, you live by technology, you know, it's like you die by the technology as well. That's what's happening right now. It's not zooming back out again. Okay, right, folks, I'm just gonna disconnect it for a second from here. I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay, so here we go. We got our graph up there now. So we're gonna go back. -1, -2, -3, -4. There's our 0. There's our y-axis. So you guys can be copying this up as well. And then we have our x-axis. -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, and then how much does it go across on the other side? So the other side, it goes across by 3. Okay, what would have been good? -4, that would need 8, and that's 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have a very tight graph here. So what we could do, we could change the scale a bit. Give me a second, folks. Okay, so we're gonna plot those values with those values. Okay, so Layla, I want you to, have you got these values written down, by the way?
Yeah, I wrote them down.
You wrote them down. Okay, so I'll check on those values, and I want you to feed me those values now. Off you go.
Okay, -4, 5.
So -4, 5 is going to be -4 along the x-axis and up by 5, which should be here. Next.
-3, 0.
-3, 0 is actually on the x-axis. Next.
-2, -3.
-2, -3 should be here.
-1, -4.
-1 is -4, which is here. Next.
0, -3. So like on the line.
0 is -3.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
0, -3. 1 and 0.
And what's 2?
5. 2 and 5.
And then?
3 and 12.
Okay. So again, we need to draw us a nice smooth curve through there. So I'm going to use an orange as we did before. I'm going to make sure it's nice and a little bit thicker so it makes a nice line. Okay, so you can turn your paper around, folks. Remember, when you're doing a curve, you want to use this part as a pivot to draw the curve, and then turn the page around with the other curve, side of the curve. Oh. Okay, right. So I start the half from there, and I'm going to turn my iPad all the way around 180 degrees. And I'm going to try to... Okay, it's not exactly that beautiful, especially at the top, a little bit curvy, but you get the idea. So one thing that I forgot to do in the previous question, which nobody reminded me about, we need to label the graph. So y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. Y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3, and we put like a little arrow on there. So to label that graph, so there's our graph. Okay. Now similarly, we're going to go back. We didn't label this graph either, and that was y equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay. So there you go. We've got to work out the values. We've got to take care of the negative values. We've got to add up the negative values. We've got to multiply the negative values. We've got to think about how big is our graph going to be. I'm trying to make it as big as it can fit onto the graph. Look at the numbers, the scales. Draw on there. You got some graph paper in there. You got some square paper in there as well. So I think I've done enough talking and questions with you guys. I think it's time for you guys to do some questions by yourself. So. Let's have a look. These are the questions that you'll be doing for homework. So really good. The good thing is when you're going to do it for homework, the grid's already drawn for you, but you'll have to kind of redo this bit here on separately because there's not enough space in there for all the bits that we've been doing today. So hopefully your graphs will be much. Oh, that was just a practice That wasn't real. Okay, now the question that we just done now, we haven't actually finished it yet. So who was helping me with that question? Was it you, Layla?
It was me.
Okay, Layla, we said we need to work out the solutions. So what is the solutions of of this quadratic equation? Where are they? Where's the solutions?
Is each of the points that you plotted?
So the solutions.
The points on the axis, the x-axis.
Yeah, the solutions are the intersection of your orange curve with the x-axis, i.e. y equals 0 line. So wherever your curve crosses the x-axis, them are the solutions. So what are the solutions then?
0, 1, and 0 minus 3.
So for the solution, you only need to give the actual, just the x values. So we said the solutions are 1, or sorry, we should say x equals 1, which is this one here. And what's the other one going to be?
X equals minus 3.
There you go. So you have two solutions, x equals 1, x equals minus 3. Now we have another thing we asked for as well. We asked for what is the turning point. So the turning point is literally the part of the graph where the graph changes from going down to going up, or from going up to going down. So your turning point, not points, is this point here. And for that one, you need a coordinate. What's the turning point for that one? What is it?
-1, -4.
-1, -4. So if they ever ask you in the exam, as they do traditionally ask you what is the turning point of the graph, then you would find the minimum point of the graph, or the maximum point is like the graph is upside down. So you find the point where the graph changes from going one direction to going to the other direction. So the graph was first of all going down, then it starts going up. That's called a turning point. Okay, are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Now let's quickly look back at the last question. So our turning point, so what do we say? Do we give it an answer that on? Yeah, we said turning point was 3, 0. The solution here, I think we should rewrite that and just write it as rather than coordinate, it should be solution is x equals 3. Because the normal solution is just an x value. That's got one x value. So I think this is the better way of writing. The turning point has a coordinate, but the solution's normally written just as an x value on its own. If you would write down 3, 0, that wouldn't be necessarily mathematically incorrect, but we tend to write it without the 0 on it. Okay. So we have our solutions. We have two solutions, x1 and x2 really. So the first one is 1, second one is -3. Two answers, and we have one turning point because it's a quadratic equation. Now I'm going to give you some questions to practice now, and I think it's also nearly break time, but not yet. Okay. So which question have I just done? Okay, so I've just done the bottom one here, that one. X squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, so here comes your question now. Okay, folks, have a go at this one now. Have a go at x squared minus 10x. Should do something a bit more smaller. Okay, x squared minus 3x minus 4. And this one, you're going to need to do it from x is 0 to 6. You won't need to do any negative number substitution for this one because the graph's actually on the right-hand side. It doesn't have any. Okay, that's the first one I want you to try. And the second one I want you to try is, let's have a look. Okay. So we can get rid of this for the moment and write down the top of y equals x squared minus 7x plus 7, is it? X squared minus 7x plus, is that one? X squared minus 7. Okay, let's give you x squared plus 4x. X squared plus 4x, and you need to go from x is equal to minus 5 all the way to 2. Okay, folks, here we go. Here's 2 questions for you guys to do. If there's no number here, that means it's just 0, nothing to worry about. Okay, so there's your 2 questions. So you need to set out your table. You need to go from 0 to 6 for the first one. The second one, you need to go from -5 to 2. And you need to work out for the first one, you'll have x squared as one line, -3x is another row, -4 is another one. And for the second question, you only have 2 rows, then the answer. So you need to do exactly what we've just done together. Okay, and I'm gonna do some of these questions now on a special software that I have. Okay, so let you have a go first, and I'm gonna show you the ones we've just done, what they look like on this software. So has everybody copied those 2 purpley questions down? Okay, put your hand next to your name, please. If you copy them down, and this is okay, because I'm gonna do something else now with the screen. Okay, so Alice, okay, go on quickly, copy it down. Okay, folks, I'm gonna give you until our break time, really. And I'm gonna actually show you some answers. I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes with those 2 questions. Done, Salia? Okay, right. I'm gonna show you some other software that I have on this iPad, which we can use for drawing graphs. Hopefully, the graphs that we just done, I can plot them on there for you as well. Okay. Okay. So, what was our first graph? So we have y equals x squared x squared minus 6 x plus 9 plus 9. There we go, folks. That's done. And you press enter. So that's the first graph that we just done earlier. It's drawn it for us. Let me draw the one we just done as well. So we're going to do this one now. X squared x squared. Okay, add 2x. So you guys carry on with yours. I'm just doing the one we just done. 2x minus 3. Okay. Okay, lovely. It's a nice piece of software. Okay, now the graphs that you guys, so that's the graphs that I've just drawn earlier. So in one sense, if you draw like a nice universal scale, you can fit them all in. Yeah. So you use that kind of scale on your work. So you can go across the x-axis in 2s, and you can go up the x-axis in 2s, and have one graph, and put both graphs on there. You should be able to put both graphs onto one, so that way you cover it. Okay. Okay, well, let's take this back over here. Let's put that back on. So what are those numbers squared? Give it to me quick time.
0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36.
Lovely. What was the second part of the equation? X squared, then what?
Minus 3x.
So what happens when you multiply each of the numbers on top of the x value by -3? What do you get?
They become negative.
So what's 0 times by -3?
0.
And 0 and what's 1 times by -3?
Minus 3.
2 times by -3?
Minus 6.
So and then minus
9, minus 12, minus 15, and minus 18.
Okay, what's the last part of our equation? X squared minus 3.
4. Minus 4.
Okay, what do you do with the -4?
You just put it with all of them.
Fantastic. Okay, now, how do we get the y value now?
You add all of the 3 numbers up.
So which way do you add them? Do you add them horizontally or vertically?
Going down vertically.
Okay, so you always add them vertically to give the answers. So go on then, give me some answers then. What's 0, add 0, add -4?
-4.
What's 1, add -3, add -4?
-6.
And the next one?
-6 again, then -4, then 0, then 6, then yeah, then 14.
Okay. Everybody in the class, please check your values, check your table, and make sure it corresponds. Now, Eliza, Layla, and I think it's just Sally, you got that one right. Yeah, Sally done that one again. She made some mistakes in the first one, so no problem. Do it again. So, can I have a show of hands, please, if you got that table completely right? Eliza, was that all right? Good. Okay. Now, the next table. What was the equation? Abdullah, x squared
Add 4x.
add 4x. Okay, for that one, I need. Ali, did you do the second table? Jump in here. Okay, let's have. Eliza, did you do that one?
I'll do it right now.
Yeah. Eliza, did you get that far?
Yeah, I did that table, but I'm not too sure if I did it correctly.
Okay, so what's the first one? This is x squared. What do you get for x squared?
For x squared, I got 25,
Mm-hmm.
and then 6.
16.
Oh yeah, sorry, 16. Didn't read that. And then 9, and then 4.
Yeah.
Then 1, then 0, then 1, and then 4.
Excellent. What was the next part of the calculation? The line. So x squared, and the next part was?
4x.
What's the 4x?
And then for the first one, I got -20,
And then?
-16, -12, -8, -4, 0, 4, and 8.
So you got the same values, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, what happens when you have to now add them together, give you the y value? What was your first answer?
5.
Second one?
-10, -3.
Okay, let me say minus 10. Whoa. For the second one, you got 16, take away 16. What would that give you?
That'd give you, it wouldn't give you -10 because
It'll give you
it would give you
0?
Yeah, 0, and then it would give you, and then on the -3 one, it'd give you -3.
That's right. And then 4 minus 8 is?
-4.
Lovely. And 1 minus 4 is?
-3.
And 0 is?
0, and
1
then
and 4 is?
5 and 12.
Lovely. Okay. So we're going to get some graphs here. So hopefully everybody got those two tables done beautifully and perfectly. If you haven't done it beautifully and perfectly, you'll know. So when you plot your graph, you won't get a nice curve. You get something like this or something like zigzags in there. You know you've done something wrong and you know which value it is wrong. Okay, lovely. Let's quickly flip to the graphs now. Has everybody had a go at drawing the graphs? Yes? So, okay, Layla's drawn the graphs. Abdullah's drawn the graphs. Everybody have a look at the graphs, please. The purple graph is x squared minus 3x minus 4. And the next graph is x squared plus 4x. Can you please check you got those graphs? Salih, for them?
Yeah.
Okay, now. Okay, let's have. So, Salia, what are the, for the purple graph, the first one, x squared minus 3x minus 4, what are the, I don't know whether I can write on this. Oh, if I touch it, it gives you values. Right, it's going to give me some values. Okay. Oh, so okay, I think I picked the wrong graph first. Okay, for the purple graph, the first graph, x squared minus 3x minus 4, Saleh, from the electronic graph, what's the first solution that we have?
Oh, the solution
The root is
the
4. So again, so then again, what's 4? The root can be given as a coordinate variation, or just as an x value, x equals 4. That's it. Normally, when you work out the solutions, we write them as x1, x2. They're written with the coordinate version, so that's again one of the two. So the first one, the solutions for the first graph is 4, 0, or just write x equals 4. And the next one?
is -1.
Minus 1, 0, or just minus 1. If you write as coordinate, it's self-explanatory. It's -1 along the x and 0 along the y. That's perfectly fine. Okay, folks, check those two values. You got those two values from your graphs. Okay, next, sorry, what is the turning point of the first graph?
1. I did 1 minus 6.
You got 1 minus 6. It definitely has to be 1.5. So if you look at it, it's not, can't be 1. It's between 1 and 2 now. Remember, I think when you guys are drawing the graphs, please don't do the common mistake of, did you flatline it across? Yeah. Don't do that. Don't draw a line straight across here. I can't actually annotate on this at the moment. Between 1 and 2, you shouldn't have a flat point. Okay, you should not have a flat point. It should be curved. You have to continue the curve as though you carry on the graph. So what that turning point is, so it has to be 1.5 across, halfway, and then minus 6.25 because it comes down by a little bit. Okay, lovely. Now let's look at the other graph, the second one. Let's have Layla. Layla, for the second graph, y equals x squared plus 4x, which is the black graph or the gray graph here. What are your roots?
0 minus 4. 0, 0.
So here you got 0, 0, or minus 4,
Minus 4, 0.
or and the other one is 0, 0, yeah?
And then minus 4, minus 2.
So what is the turning point for the second graph?
Minus 4, minus 2, minus 4.
Is that what you got as well?
Yeah, but I just said it the other way around. Minus 4, minus 2 instead.
Okay, so you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Okay, good stuff. Okay, folks, are we happy with those graphs, or do we need to do another one or two? And the negative numbers. So Abdullah's happy. Eliza? Okay. Salih, you happy with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
X, would you times it by 4?
Okay, now you don't need to, you can, people do multiply the brackets, but that's not really necessary. You can just start to work out. So remember, x has been times by 5. I call that the first action. It's then been minus by 6, second action, and then it's been times by 4, so the third action. So whenever you solve or rearrange an equation, you need to move everything in reverse order. The last thing goes first. So what shall I move first?
The 4.
The time by 4. The 4 means nothing to me mathematically, but if you said to me the time by 4, that has some significance. Oh yeah, I wake up and oh yeah, the time by 4. So remember, the 4 is being acted on, is acting on the brackets by multiplying. So remember that. That's very interesting. I'll put the time by 4 is?
Divide by 4.
So 16 divided by 4 is?
4.
4. So now the brackets have now disappeared because the 4 was holding everything together. What do I move? What's the next thing to move?
The 6.
You mean the minus 6?
It's minus 6, and then it
Yeah.
becomes a plus 6.
Okay, because when you say the 6 has got no sign to it, so it's important. 6 at 4 is equal to?
10.
Okay, and then what do we move next?
The 5x.
The time by 5.
Okay, times by 5, which is divide by 5.
There you go. Remember, the 5x itself is not an operation. You're looking for an add, a take away, a multiply, divide, a square root, and like that. So the final answer is?
2.
X equals 2. Fantastic. Okay, thank you for that. Now let's try the next question together. Now, what do you realize on this side of the question? How many x's do you have now?
2.
You have 2 of them now. So you will actually need to multiply it out. So if you want to multiply it out, let's do that now quickly. Come on.
So 3 times 5 is 15.
Okay.
3 times minus 2 would be minus 6.
Okay, a little bit of a hesitation there. Okay, the hesitation needs to go. You need to be absolutely sure that was right, but you hesitated. So just make sure that you understand and do the exercise on the negative numbers. Okay, next bit. 4 times
4 times by 3 is 12.
12x.
And 12x. And then 6 times by 4 is 24.
Okay. Now that we release the x from the bracket, we need the x's onto one side. So what do? Which x shall I move first?
The 12.
Beautiful. You always move the smaller one towards the bigger one. If you move the x's to the left, you got to move the numbers to the
Right.
nice and easy. Simple as that. So opposite of add 12x is,
Minus 12.
and then the opposite of minus 6 is,
Add 6.
okay, what's 15x minus 12x?
It would be 3x.
And what's 24 add 6?
30.
And what's opposite time by 3?
Divide by 3. And then it would be 10.
Okay, was that hard? Were there hard questions, Leila? Sorry, Eliza.
No.
Nice and straightforward?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of questions now, everybody to do now. I'm going to give Abdullah, because he's done these questions before, and Salih, maybe some of the slightly more exciting questions, but the rest of you can do this. So everybody, please, let's have Leila and Salia. Maybe I might give Abdullah some, it's a little bit harder. And Eliza, do the following questions, please. So I want you to try this one here. Oops, wrong pen. And the highlighter. This question. Okay. Salia, try those for me, please. Okay, Abdullah, you can try for me this question. And this question. Okay, everybody have a go at those questions for me, please. That's okay.
X.
Okay, yeah, good. And then
3 times by 2 is 6.
okay, don't forget to say 3 times by plus 2 is plus 6. You gotta put the plus in your brain. So your brain, oh yeah, plus 3 times by plus 2. You gotta say the plus to yourself, so you know it's not a minus. Otherwise, okay. Next, what do we do?
And then you do
You stop.
take the 9x, and then it becomes divided by
It becomes
No.
minus.
minus 9.
Yeah, because it's plus. Don't forget the moment it becomes a minus. So you now have 10x minus 9x. You have plus 6. And what happens to the minus 5?
It becomes a plus 5.
Now, how do I know that the 9x is positive, Eliza? It wasn't, the plus sign wasn't there before. I just put it now in red. How do we know it's plus?
Because we did when we times it by 3, there was no negatives.
That, and also any number written by itself without no sign, it's automatically plus. Automatically, by default. All numbers are positive unless you put a minus sign for them, make them negative. Okay, lovely. So what's 10x minus 9x?
1x.
Which we write as simply as?
X.
And 6 add 5 is?
11.
Done. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, folks. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah. Lovely. So are you happy? Are you happy with that, Elias? You said you haven't done it before, but you seem to be quite good at it. Are you sure you haven't done it before?
I think, I don't know if I've done this, but I think I've done something similar.
Okay. Are you happy with the idea of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to find these particular questions on my channel, how would you find them?
Um,
You know how to find them?